Hello folks, this is Solo speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This is another double up game. It's taken from one of our Friday morning group games. Together with me here is Willow, who uses the League TFT name Willow Arkan, because he couldn't get Willow Arkan. Also in this game are Headwinder and Shallow Thought playing on a team, Ivan, or as he uses his TFT name Bloodest, and Rienzo playing on a team, and then two random people who are not part of our group. We had 7 people on this day, which is not quite enough to get a full lobby. Hopefully one of these weeks we'll be able to get up to a full 8 people, so then we won't have to share the lobby with anyone else. It'll just be all our group. In this game, we're going to be seeing a Star Guardians team, and specifically we're going to be seeing a Star Guardians team that's based on 3-starring some of the Star Guardians. In particular, we're going to go for the 3-cost Star Guardians, Nico and Ari. We're going to try to 3-star both of them and then build out the rest of a Star Guardians board from there. Now, what gave me the idea to do this at the start of the game was I had the early Nico drop, and then I also had a Rel. I think I got a Rel from the initial minion round, and then another Rel was in this first shop, and then I had a Syndra in this shop, and then Willow was able to send me another Syndra. So I already have the early Nico and then pairs of both Rel and the Syndra. So that's a lot of early Star Guardians, and certainly it can be a potential route to go if you would end up hitting all these units at an early date. I'm also going to send this, Nefiri over to Willow. Willow is going to end up playing a board that goes into Kale plus Duelist. At the time, he was planning on going Soul Fighter, but he ended up pivoting a little bit and ended up going Duelist Kale because I think he was contested on the Soul Fighters in this game. Like I said, though, I am going to be focusing on the Star Guardian units. Star Guardian is one of the big vertical traits in this set. It's similar to traits like the initial one was Guild, and then it's come back in a couple of other forms. I think, Heavenly Trait was like this in one of the sets. I didn't play set 14, but I think that Corporation Divinicorp trait was like this as well. Basically, every unit you play on the board gives a unique benefit to the rest of the team. The gimmick for Star Guardians is only the other Star Guardians get the benefit. Most of these traits have given their value to the entire team. Star Guardians only give their value to other Star Guardians, so it's kind of intended to be played as a vertical trait, and it's usually played that way. Now, the other reason why I had the thought to go for a team composition based around rerolling 3 costs is team building. I get this for my first augment, Silver Augment, get a lesser champion duplicator, get another lesser champion duplicator after 5 combats. So I can get 2 duplicators at the price of just a Silver Augment, which is not a whole lot. And I will look to first try to get up to level 7, and then I will try to build out the team from there. I also got a whole bunch of tank items. Fortunately, I did hit the 2-star Rel, so I'm just going to play around the Rel in this early game. Now, you might think I would take over 9,000 each round, get a random permanent stat, because Rel is never coming off my board. The problem is you do lose those stats if you pivot out of the power-up. So Rel would get a whole bunch of stats, and that would be great, but I will want to switch this power-up off of Rel later on in the game, unless I go for Rel 3-star, but I'm not planning on doing that. So I would lose whatever stats Rel had gained if I change the power up to someone else. So I end up taking the one that causes her to charge through the enemy team at the start of combat and then get a few additional stats. By the way, this round's close, but I am able to beat Headwinder's board there. That was we both had these heavy tanks and we had no damage. So the two of us were just sitting there slapping each other with our tanks for the whole fight right there. All right, as I said, I'm trying to get some sends over there to Willow's board. As I said, he was going into Star Guardian or going into Soul Fighter at first, but he would pivot into more of a Kale heavy direction as the game went on. My understanding is that the Juggernaut version of Kale is stronger than the Duelist version of Kale, but the Duelist version is playable if that's the route you go. And Willow does have an early Viego over there on his board, so that makes sense. Now, what we didn't know is one of the 2 random players in this lobby ended up going heavy into Soul Fighters and would actually go for 3-star Viego. So that's why that didn't end up being a particularly great route to go down in this one. I'm watching Willow's board right now. Now he's up against Headwinder, similar board. It's the same board I hit in the last round. I am up against one of the 2 random players in the lobby, and it looks like they want to go the Crystal Gambit route, which I generally wouldn't recommend doing unless you get an early emblem. I was going to say or an early Swain. I guess this person did get the early Swain. So I guess that's viable, but it is difficult to win with the Crystal Gambit unless you really have a good spot for it. Otherwise, I wouldn't. Generally, I wouldn't recommend going that route unless you have like a really good route for it, like a really good path. Now I have to play another unit on the board because I'm level 4. I've been trying to play like trying to play the econ game because I know I'm going to need a lot of econ to roll for 3-star 3 costs later on. I slapped the Kennen on the board at first because it puts Protector trait in play for the Nico, but then after that I was like, wait a minute, no, actually I don't want Protector trait. The trait I want here is Bastion trait because Rel is the unit I'm playing through right now, and Rel is Bastion plus Star Guardian. Bastion's going to give some armor and magic resistance to the whole team, and it's going to give more to Rel and then also to Xinjiao, but he's just in there as a trait bot. So yeah, Xinjiao is definitely the better unit to play here because I don't really care about Nico at the moment. Nico's going to take over as primary tank later on, but at the moment, Nico doesn't really do much except be a trait bot on my team. I don't know if I could have beaten this board. This board of Shallow Thoughts is already level 5 because he took the Silver Spoon augment that gave him 10 XP to start the game. I might have been able to beat this one. It's a little bit unclear. Shallow Thought doesn't have a lot of Shallow Thought's like me. He has a lot of tankiness, but not a lot of damage. It ends up becoming a moot point, though, because Willow reinforces me. And then his Kale pops over, and his Kale with the Rage Blade actually does deal some damage. So that's going to be enough for us to win that round, and my win streak is going to continue. That does mean that I'm going to be last pick on this carousel, though. So there's not a ton that jumps out right here. I'm actually trying to get some spellcasting items because Syndra is the unit that I'm kind of playing through right now. I would have liked the tier, but Headwinder snaps that up immediately. And I'm continuing to look here. Like, most of the spellcasting stuff is already gone. The tier is gone. The rod is gone. Out of these options, I was like, you know what? I'm going to need to go for Nico 3. Let's just take another Nico. It gives me yet another tank item, which is not what I want, but sure, why not? That means that I'm on Nico pair. Maybe we see another early Nico for Nico 2-star, and it's one fewer Nico that I'm going to have to hit. I also did swap my board around a little bit here. I decided to take out the Xinjiao and play this Malzahar instead. The reason for that is my board is already really tanky. Like, Rel is a very, very strong tank with this setup here. What I actually need is more damage on my board, and Malz is a good fit here. He's going to put Prodigy trait in play for Syndra. Going to give them both some additional mana regen. And Malzahar's ability is a damage over time effect. It does a lot of damage, but it's very slow acting. So if you're going to play a Malz base board, you generally want one that has a lot of frontline. But fortunately, that's exactly what I have here. My board Rel tanks for a very, very long time. It'll give space for Malz to put his little ticking damage over time effect on the enemy team. And then that should hopefully slowly chew through the enemy board. While Rel just continues to stand there tanking. Now I'm going to get reinforced on, but unfortunately Willow is coming over to my board as well. It's like, is Kale alive? Come on, Kale. Kale has like all the damage on us. Unfortunately, Kale gets popped, but his Viego is still alive, and it looks like Viego's going to carry the back end of this fight. Okay, that was big because it let me get to 20 gold there. I would have had to sell the Gangplank if I couldn't hit that, and I wanted to send the Gangplank over to Willow. This is before Gangplank got hit with his like 3rd round of nerfs, so he was definitely a more viable unit in the build that we were playing right here. Okay, Star Guardian. Let's go back to that trait for a minute because I haven't had too much time to talk about it. As I said, it is a big stacking vertical trait. Every Star Guardian unit gives a bonus to all other Star Guardians. So if you have 2 of them in, you get a bonus. If you get 3 in, you get another bonus. 4 in, get another bonus, etc. And it depends on the unit that's on the board. Right now, I have Rel on the board. Rel's ability is she gives a shield to all Star Guardians. This is one of the ones that scales the poorest as the game goes on. I don't know. Now, see, the problem is all the values I can't even really describe because the values change every time you put in another Star Guardian, and they also can change if you like get an emblem. Some of them go up based on what stage it is, so I can't really give you numbers. All I can really say is Rel gives you a shield. So this is good in the early game, but it falls off pretty hard as the game goes on. By the way, I also sold a Syndra because I wanted to get to 30 gold there. Yeah, I was just holding the extra Syndras because I was like, well, whatever. I might hit 3-star Syndra. I'm not going to roll for it, but if I hit it, it's like whatever. So Rel gives you a shield. The other units I have on my board right now are Syndra. Syndra gives stacking ability power to the team. The whole, it's not the whole team, it's all Star Guardians. All Star Guardians gain ability power every 3 seconds. Again, another reason why it's not the worst thing to be like kind of tanky in these fights It's because Syndra gives our team stacking AP. Like, it's not a lot. I think they only get like 5 or 6 AP every 3 seconds. But, 20 seconds into the fight, that gives everybody what, like, I don't know, 30, 40 AP. It's like the equivalent of all starter guardians have a death cap after like 20, 25 seconds. So like that's, that's not terrible. It does add up over time. So we might as well try to grab that. And then the other unit I have is Nico. Nico increases all healing and shielding effects. So it does have some synergy with Rel, and it makes sense you're going to play them both as frontliners. But any other healing or shielding effects are also increased. Now here on the minion round, I also was able to, I picked up an Ahri from Willow's board, and then I was also able to find a Zaya. And in fact, Ahri is going to turn into the main carry for this board over time. She is one of the 2 3-cost Star Guardians, together with Nico. There are 2 1-cost Star Guardians. You have the Syndra and the Rel. There is, 2 2-costs? Let's see. Looking at the Star Guardian list. No, only 1 2-cost, Zaya, who I just picked up. And then 2 3-costs, 2 4-costs, and a 5. So the cost pattern is 1 1, 2, 3 3, 4 4, and 5. So as I said, there's a lot of units that make up the Star Guardians board. By putting the Ahri on the board, Ahri gives all units additional mana regen. After casting, gain mana over the next few seconds. This is probably one of the weaker passive effects, but everything does add up over time. And it looks like we're barely going to clutch this fight out against Headwinder. Rel somehow survives despite going super low on health over there. And so the win streak, somewhat surprisingly, does manage to continue. It helped me that Headwinder's board was only level 4 there. Time for our second augment. The first one was silver, the second one's gold. I'm looking at the different options. It's definitely not Golemify. I don't want to lose my whole board here. I'm going to take Water Lotus. Your team gains crit chance and your abilities can critically strike. And then if they do strike, restore and get some mana regen over the next few seconds. I also did manage to find 2 other Syndras there, so I'm technically on 6 Syndras here. I'm not going to roll for Syndra 3-star. That's not the plan in this game. We're trying to go for Ahri 3-star, Nico 3-star, but I might as well hold them because they cost me very little econ. It only costs 3 gold to hold these, and I know Syndra's never going to come off my board, so why the heck not? I might as well hold that. I also was able to send a Kale over there to Willow. I will say one thing about his Kale build. I think he's overbuilding attack speed. If you're going vertical duelists, Kale already gets tons of attack speed from vertical duelists. You don't need both a Rage Blade and a red buff. Kale's just being overloaded with attack speed there. She's just going to fly into whatever the attack speed cap is and not do any more damage. So I think need more in the way of Jeweled Gauntlet or Gunblade or Death Cap there, because the trait itself is already going to give you a ton of attack speed with Duelist 6. So yeah, as I said, I think his Kale's going to attack super fast, but I'm not convinced his Kale is going to do as much damage with this build, just because there's so much attack speed. I've had that happen to me in some sets where I played Kale as well. I think there was one set where I had 8 Duelist Kale, and I think it was I can't remember which set it was, but one of the other sets with Duelists, and I just overloaded my Kale with an absurd amount of attack speed. All right, anyway, so a couple things happened this round. It's another gift round. Willow's found another Ahri that he passes over to me. And I also managed to find a Swain. Now, Swain is a unit that is not a Star Guardian. He is 3 traits. What is he? He's Sork, Bastion, and Crystal Gambit. But he slots in really nicely with a Star Guardian board. He's often one of the few non-Star Guardians you play on this board. He's a good candidate to put a Star Guardian emblem on if you're going to be playing, if you would manage to get a Star Guardian emblem. And Star Guardian emblem is fantastic because it increases the benefit of all other Star Guardian effects by 10%. Plus, you can turn a unit that's not a Star Guardian into a Star Guardian and then pick up all those bonuses. But anyway, Swain's trait matrix slots in here really nicely. He provides Sork trait for Ahri, which it gives her some extra AP and gives her some extra damage. Also provides Bastion trait to synergize with the Rel, so the whole team gets some additional armor and magic resistance. And then he actually puts you on 2 out of 3 Crystal Gambit, because Syndra also has Crystal Gambit trait. And in fact, one thing that I did not do in this game that I thought afterwards maybe I should have done is I maybe should have just played Janna on this board as well. Janna would give me, would make Crystal Gambit and would also give Protector trait for the Nico. So Janna's a good unit to play on this board as well, because As I said, she gives you Protector trait, and you can make Crystal Gambit with her, and she's just like a solid utility unit. But I did not play her this game, so you will not be seeing Janna on the board for better or for worse. It's kind of a tough question. It's like, do you play another Star Guardian to get that stacking Star Guardian benefit? Like, would I want to play Janna here for Protector and Crystal Gambit trait? Or is it better to put like the Xayah on the board to keep going vertical Star Guardian and pick up another like power? Like, it's just hard to say what's better or worse here. All right, I was last pick on the carousel yet, which makes sense because I haven't lost a round yet, and I had no choice but to take another tank item. So I will end up taking the vest, and I'll just go ahead and make a Bramble vest here. It's not exactly what I'm looking for. I think I would have preferred to have like a Sunfire cape, but like it's not bad, and it'll be really good against the physical damage teams. Biggest problem is it's not really going to do much against any team that's magic damage based. So it's what I had available. I'm not going to have the vest just sit on the bench forever. I could have also made Steadfast Heart. The difference there is I kind of would like to make some kind of like a damage item out of that glove, whereas the vest literally does not build into anything I want other than like a frontline tank item. I don't need like an Edge of Night in this game. Star Guardians doesn't have like any melee carries who would want like Titan's Resolve or Edge of Night. So there's really nothing to do with the vest other than turn it into a frontline tank item, and Bramble Vest works for that. Because I was on full win streak, I also went ahead and leveled to 7 there, and that allowed me to put another unit in. I put the Xayah on the board. Her Star Guardian ability is that it's every third attack deal magic damage, and it increases based on whatever stage you're on. So every single Star Guardian now, their third attack will deal bonus magic damage, and that does add up over time. Again, leaning into the fact that Star Guardians is mostly a magic damage comp. The only one who really deals physical damage is Jinx. I guess Xayah also deals magic or a physical damage, but she's generally not a unit that gets played that much. She's been pretty weak in most of the builds that we've had thus far. All right, so I'm going to send another Kale over there to Willow, and looks like he's very close to hitting his Kale 3-star. He does have double duplicators because I sent them from the gift round. We have another gift round here, and I'm going to get a component anvil, which I am very happy to turn into a Jeweled Gauntlet. This actually has pretty good synergy with the Lotus effect I took. Now, granted, some of the effect is wasted because the Lotus lets my abilities crit, even without a Jeweled Gauntlet, but getting that extra crit chance actually helps a lot. And I'm going to move my items and my power-up over to Ahri, and I'm going to give her the Mage power-up, which causes her to cast twice, which is a very good power-up for Ahri. Fits really, really well with how her ability works. Cast twice but deal reduced damage. That's actually not bad at all for Ahri due to how her ability works, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And then since I moved out of Syndra as my main carry, I decided I'd toss Rise on the board instead because I no longer really need Prodigy trait. It's not really going to do that much. Now, here is a problem for me. Rienzo has a Suspicious Trenchcoat item, and that causes his Aatrox to split into 3 targets when he takes damage. And that's bad for my board because Ahri does single target damage. Yeah, splitting into 3 is actually not good for me because Ahri's going to be my main carry, and Ahri's damage is single target. So unfortunately, I finally do lose a round. I was pretty lucky to go that long without losing a round. It sucks it's right before the minion round, but still, it is what it is. And then, oh, look at this. I managed to hit Swain 2-star, Nico 2-star, Ahri 2-star, and get another Syndra. I was like, why couldn't I have had this happen before the last round? If I'd had all those units 2-starred, I probably would have won that round against Rienzo. So, oh, well, that would have been nice. I'm also now on 8 Syndras, so hopefully I can hit one more Syndra. But yeah, my board definitely got a lot stronger there, like much, much stronger. And now I feel better about having Ahri as my main carry because she's 2-starred now as well. And then I'm going to get some decent items here. I get another Rod. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I'll find something to do with it. Unfortunately, I get 2 4-cost, but they're both useless. I really wish one of them had been a Poppy or a Jinx. Remember, there's 2 4-cost Star Guardians, but unfortunately, I did not get either of the 4-cost Star Guardians. I'm also going to move my tank items over to Nico. Now, Nico does not have Bastion trait in play, but I think it's still better for her to have this. Good options here. Selfish and Standalone are both pretty good here. I'm going to end up taking Selfish because I want Nico to heal when her allies deal damage. Nico's ability also gives her some durability as well. When she uses her ability, she gains, I think she gains like 30 or 40% durability for a few seconds. And then after that, she deals magic damage to the units around her. So getting stacking durability is not bad. But the main thing is also that she will heal. It's kind of like everybody has a Gunblade that just heals the Nico up there. By the way, I also find a Varus at 1% odds. And I was like, hey, Willow, you're playing Kale, right? Why don't you look to play Varus on your board as well? I think that would be pretty good for your board. And he will actually end up taking this Varus and playing it long term. Kind of wish that had been a Seraphine for my board, but beggars can't be choosers. It is something at least my partner can use, and I'll be happy to pass that along because I believe he did hit the Kale 3-star, and we don't need to grab Kales anymore. Time for our final augment here. I'm looking at the different options. Definitely not another one. I don't need that. Ascension's a possibility, but I don't think that I have that much of a stall board. I could fish for 5 costs with Duo Q, but I think I can do better there. So I ended up having kind of a tough choice between Tons of Stats and the Cybernetic Uplink. Both of them would be good here, or at least solid picks. I mean, there's better stuff I could find, but they're both solid picks here. I really thought about this. The Cybernetic ones have been nerfed a lot over the years, but I was like, all right, I think I still want that. It was kind of hard to say. One of those two would have been a good choice. So anyway, I just ended up going with this one. And now I have 5 rounds until the Champion Send cools down. So like I don't really have to hold anything for Willow's board right now. It's going to be a while until the Send cools down. So I'm going to keep rolling here. And all right, I think I end up oh no, I found another Nico, and I was like, do I lock for it? I think I ended up selling the Xayah because I don't really care about Xayah 2-star. I'll take it if I can get it, but she's just a trait bot. I don't really need her, and I definitely do want that Nico because it puts me up to 5 Nikos. All right, let me cover specifically how Ahri's ability works because she is the main carry in this team composition. Ahri is very similar in this set to the way that she was in set 10, which was the music set, where she was a 4-cost. Her ability does less damage because she's a 3-cost and not a 4-cost, but it's pretty similar. When her mana bar fills up, she shoots out one of her orbs. Or is it her charm or her orb of deception? I don't know. I'd have to watch the animation. But anyway, she shoots out an orb as we hit the Syndra 3-star. Very nice. And it's also, she only hits one target at a time. So she's single target damage exclusively, which limits what she can do to some extent. Now, she deals more damage to the target if they're low health. So her damage goes up if the enemy target has less health. By the way, I'm already up to 7 Ahri, so that's pretty nice. And she will apply overkill damage to other targets. Now, this is something that Ahri in set 10 did not have. So it's a little bit like Ahri has, what's the item that causes you to deal overkill damage? The Ludens artifact. So it's a little bit like she has a Ludens on her at all times. But yeah, she will hit the target, and if she kills them, she will splash some overkill damage onto other targets. But that's her big weakness, is she can only hit one target at a time. You also see the problem here. I'm hitting I'm hitting a Rakan who has a Spirit Visage and like an insane amount of resistances. And Shalothod's board just kind of blows me up. Like, it's not even close. He just annihilated me in that round because I just didn't have enough damage to get through the healing on his Rakan, unfortunately. The other problem is his team was dealing all magic damage, and my Bramble Vest was just like completely useless against all his magic damage. So that's going to be an issue going forward. Plus, on top of that, he only had Yuumi 1-star. Yeah, Yuumi 1-star kind of annihilated me. So I was like, ugh, if I lose that badly to Yuumi 1-star, I'd hate to see what Yuumi 2-star is going to do to my board. But at least we have a lot of health banked, so we're not exactly on the point of dying or anything there. But yeah, Shalothod's board is one we're going to have to look out for over the course of this game. I have a great carousel, though. I'm able to get a Jinx off the carousel. I'm able to get a tier for an Archangel Staff. I'll take the Rise off the board. He's not really doing that much. And I also find 2 more Nikos here. So I was like, oh, wow, that's great. And then I find this. I find a Lee Sin. And remember, Willow's playing a Duelist board. So he can play Lee Sin on his board in his Duelist form, which I think is one of the rarer forms. I think people have mostly been playing Lee Sin as a Juggernaut, but he can, of course, be played also as an Executioner. People have been playing him as an Executioner in the Akali build that was popular as I'm recording this video. And then less often in the Duelist form, but, he can be a Duelist as well, and he's a 5-cost unit, so sure, why not? I'll send him over there on the board in a couple rounds, and yeah, we'll be able to take care of that. This round, I'm up against Ivan. Ivan looks like he's playing an Edgelord board, but I don't think he's been able to find or itemize a Volibear yet, which is the unit that you needed to put that. Oh, no, he has a Volibear, but he only has Voli 1-star. So until he's able to get Volibear 2-star, that board's not quite going to come together yet. Now, the other unit I picked up, as I mentioned, was Jinx. Jinx is one of the 2 4-cost units, as I continue to find more of these units here. I actually am going to burn a duplicator here for RE 3-star because I need the bench space. I don't want to sell anything that's on my board. I guess I could have sold the Xayah again, but it's also not bad to hit the RE 3-star. It's going to make it more likely to win this round. Like I said, I hit the Jinx. Jinx is one of the 2 4-costs in this team composition. She is Sniper plus Star Guardian. The other one's Poppy, who's Heavyweight plus Star Guardian. Jinx's Star Guardian ability is she gives the whole team attack speed, and then the team also gets a big burst of attack speed after takedowns, kills or assists, that decays over 3 seconds. So she kind of gives the, oh, my past self just highlighted it. Thank you, past self. So she kind of gives the whole team a little bit of a reset mechanic and also gives them stacking attack speed. By the way, look at this. So Ahri is a 3-star unit, but look how laboriously she has to kill all of those little units that popped out of Rienzo's suspicious trench coat. I was like, oh my god, Ahri, come on, Ahri. Remember, she can only kill 1 target at a time. She actually did 20,000 damage in that fight. But it just takes her forever to kill the units when they pop out of the suspicious trench coat. So yeah, it's a little bit sad. Anyway, we're still rolling here, still trying to hit these units. All right, that's a great shop. You know, I wasn't entirely sure I wanted to go for Swain 3-star, but I'm on 7 Swains now, 7 Swains, 7 Nikos. It's worthwhile to at least keep grabbing them. And again, another reason why Swain can slot into this comp really nicely is if you're going for 3-cost reroll, he fits in there quite well. I haven't seen Star Guardians played that much as a 3-cost reroll. It definitely is playable that way. Also, you can try to just like push levels, get Jinx on the board, and then try to slot in like some 4 and 5-cost units on your board. But it does seem like this fits reasonably well. Now I want to try to itemize Jinx on this board. So Jinx mostly wants attack speed. Obviously, attack damage is good on her as well. By the way, another Swain. Okay. And I'm going to get another Nico here. So I was like, all right, whatever. I'm just going to duplicate the Nico. Now I just need to find one more Swain. So I need to make some items for Jinx. I'm going to go ahead and do the Striker's Flail. And I'm also going to do a Hurricane. And then now I have just a leftover item. So I'll just give her a sword. And now I'm going to look to start leveling. Boom. There goes the Lee Sin over to Willow's board. Now I'm going to look to start leveling because I need to get to level 8 and play Poppy. And then I need to get to level 9 and play Seraphine. I will hopefully find a Swain along the way. But I don't think there's enough time to sit here and still reroll for Swain 3-star. I know I only need one more, but if I sit here and roll down like 20 or 30 gold, which could very easily happen, then it's going to be almost impossible to get to level 9 before this game ends. I'm just going to try to find a Swain along the way. He's not as important. I mean, it would be great to have 3-star Swain, but he doesn't get any of the Star Guardian bonuses, so he's not like super important as a unit on my board. It does help here in double up mode where everybody gets additional econ. But of course, the downside to that is the other teams all get additional econ as well. So we all have to try to cap out our boards a little bit higher than we would otherwise. Yeah, there's a Janna in my shop. I could put in Janna for Crystal Gambit and for Crystal Gambit and Protector trait, but I just don't have slots for them. I don't really have a slot for Janna. If I had a If I had a Tactician's Crown for +1 team size, she would be a great unit to put in here. Of course, I could also try to put Varus on the board to put Sniper trait in play for Jinx. That's also another good +1 unit you can play to make this team composition work. But it would be nice to have Protector trait in for Nico, which, as I said, I never managed to get that in over the course of this game. Just didn't have a slot for it, unfortunately. So she's just kind of relying on her base stat. She's not really getting anything from her Protector trait, just the Star Guardian trait. All right, it's back to Shalothod's board again. He does have the 2-star he does have the 2-star Yumi now, and like look at how little the Bramble Vest on the Nico does to stop me. Yeah, once again, just absolutely carves through my team right there. He's up to 5 Prodigy. He did find a Seraphine. Where's my Seraphine? I want a Seraphine, but was able to find a Seraphine, and now their team looks like it's starting to get pretty strong. Headwinder went for a 3-star Kog'Maw, and he's managed to hit that. He's playing, I think, like a Juggernaut front line, and then Kog'Maw behind that. And yeah, their team is starting to get online. They actually lost a lot of health in the early game, but their team's coming online now and becoming more and more of an issue that we have to worry about. For my double up gift round, the previous gift round I sent a component anvil to Willow. I had the option, I think, of a completed item anvil or gold. I just took the gold. I think I got like 20, 25 gold, something like that. I just need the gold. I need to get to level 9. I have to put, as I said, I have to find Poppy and I have to find Seraphine because all of the Star Guardian benefits stack with each other. the more Star Guardians on the board, the stronger all of their abilities get. Like, just to take one of those examples, let me take, I don't know, Syndra. Syndra gives stacking ability power. When you first put her on the board, I think she gives you like 5 ability power every 3 seconds. If you put all the Star Guardians on the board, she gives 8 or 9 ability power every 3 seconds. So like all those benefits basically double if you put in all the Star Guardians. And then on top of that, you're getting more benefits on everyone. Like they're all stacking together over the course of these rounds. So more Star Guardians on the board just kind of has like this, I don't know, snowball effect, exponential effect, line goes up on the graph effect. So I need to get these last 2 Star Guardians on the board. For the moment, I'm playing Ashe because, I mean, why not? I didn't really have a better unit to put in here. She does put Crystal Gambit trade in play, so I might be able to get 1 Crystal Gambit cash out for what that's worth. That big health total that we banked early in the game, though, is starting to go down. We're down to 50 health because both of us have been losing some rounds. At least the group of randoms in the lobby are gone. So it's down to just our 3 teams, and it's starting to get pretty tight in terms of the health. Rienzo and Ivan down on 17 health, and then Headminer and Shallow Thought look like they've mostly stabilized around 20 HP. So again, I'm still in econ mode, but I probably can't get to level 9 until after stage 5 is over. I did manage to get a useful item here, though. I was able to get a Last Whisper, which is good because I didn't have any armor shred in my build, and that's going to be really nice as well. I get another Jinx coming over from Willow. Jinx 2-star is big. That's going to finally give me another secondary carry for my board. Like, up to this point in time, it's just been Ahri, but now I have Jinx for another carry as well. And the Jinx items are quite good here. Again, I have the Striker's Flail and the Last Whisper. They both give crit chance. They're going to synergize nicely with that Water Lotus because with those 2 items and the Lotus, I'm going to have probably like 70 or 80% crit chance, and Jinx's ability can critically strike, which is good because she fires a big rocket and hits most of the board with it, and that's going to be able to crit. And yeah, now we look like our board is kind of coming online. 11,000 damage for Ahri, and then another 7,000 damage for Jinx. So looking pretty good here. And I still need to find Poppy, and I still need to find the Seraphine. Ah, there we go. There is the Swain 3-star. I would love to get just like a Thief's Glove to slap on him so he would have some items. At least so far, though, I haven't really had that option. So yeah, now my frontline got a little bit stronger as well, which is good because I think my frontline is kind of my weakness in this board. Still, I have 3 stars, a random 3-star Syndra and a random 3-star Swain, who were not the units I was targeting, but I managed to hit them anyway. I've definitely had good luck at hitting these units over the course of this game. And now, again, we need to see, are we strong enough to deal with some of these other boards here? I'm up against Rienzo, and okay, Rienzo's got, he's got Viego 3-star with that stupid Suspicious Trenchcoat. Again, it's just not a good matchup for me because Ahri, again, all her damage is single target. I have her casting twice because she has the Mage power up, but still, look, splits into 3 targets. I was like, man, Jinx, 1 more rocket? No, Jinx dies before she gets the rocket off. Yeah, you can see how that board just kind of counters what I'm doing because of the Suspicious Trenchcoat just really, really mucks with what my team is doing. At least I do get to open a very small chest here. What did I get? About 6 gold, something like that from Crystal Gambit. And I could make Jinx 2-star, but I don't actually want Jinx 2-star. Not Jinx 2-star, Ashe. I can make Ashe 2-star, but I don't actually want Ashe 2-star. I want to send an Ashe over to Willow. Remember, he's playing a duelist board. He needs Ashe for his duelist board. And that unit's going to come off the board as soon as I can find Poppy and Seraphine anyway. So there is a Poppy over there that Willow can send to me in a few rounds. And I'm going to see, I'm going to be level 9. I'm going to have a lot of gold to roll here. So hopefully I can hit both of these units because I really do need them. I mean, I guess I could go for Jinx 3, but I really don't think I have the econ to hit that. I mean, I'll play Zyra for the moment until I can find one of them. It's like, all right, come on. We'll stuff our Braum on the board. Okay, I mean, yeah, I don't think I'm going to hit Jinx 3. There's just not enough time in this game for that. There's Poppy. Let's put her on the board. Now, can I find Seraphine? I can play Zyra as a placeholder until she shows up. There she is. Okay, there we go. And now I have the full 8 Star Guardians in. Now I'm just trying to find more copies of these units, but time's going to run out, so I'll just stuff an Adaptive Helm on Seraphine because she takes absolutely forever to cast if you don't give her some additional stats. So these are the last 2 Star Guardians. They take me up to Star Guardian 8, and I get additional benefits for the team with them. Poppy's is probably the most useful. Poppy's is when your units fall to 40% health, they heal for a percentage of max health. Notice that now with these 2 Star Guardians in, now I'm actually able to beat Shallow Thought's board after he ran me over the last couple times. Now those additional stats have put me over the top. So Poppy gives your units a heal when they drop low, and then Seraphine just gives the entire team stats. She gives the entire team armor, magic resistance, health, attack speed, attack damage, crit chance, and crit damage. So she gives the team basically every stat by having her on the board. Seraphine's ability is also interesting because she has this huge slow windup that takes absolutely forever. And then when she casts, she does basically Ari's Spirit Bomb from set 4. She hits like this big explosion on the board. She deals more damage based on how many stats the team is getting. So if you've gone vertical into Star Guardians, she gets a lot of bonus stats from that, and it causes her ability to deal more damage. Now I'm up against Headwinder's board, and the question is, can I beat Headwinder's board? Again, he's got the 3-star Cog. He's got a 2-star TF back there. He has a set with a Unending Despair artifact item. So this fight's close. It's a good thing I have the Bramble Vest for this round because that board deals physical damage. And wow, was that fight close. I had 1 unit left alive, but it's a big round because it knocks Headwinder and Shallow Thought down to 1 HP. And I'm going to get a Seraphine Send from Willow, and then I sell my extra Poppy to get Seraphine 2 on the board. This is big because we're looking at their board. Shallow Thought has 8 Yumis. Yeah, he has Yumi 2 on his board, a 2-star Yumi, 2 more 1-stars, and Headwinder has the 9th Yumi. We were like, oh God, oh my God. They're going to have 3-star Yumi, and we definitely will not beat 3-star Yumi. So we did not know how long until that cannon cooldown was going to be up, but we knew that they were going to have 3-star Yumi. Yeah, you can see me. I was like, oh God, 3-star Yumi. They're going to have 3-star Yumi here. So we need to win and get them out of the lobby ASAP because you can, if you saw quickly there on Headwinder's bench, he does have a Yumi, and that's the 9th one for Yumi 3-star. So, all right, I was like, I got to win this round. I got to beat Shallow Thought's board. I did beat it the last time we were there. All right, we have dueling Seraphine ults. Both of us have Seraphine on our board. Both of them deal a lot of damage. Oh, this fight's close too, but ooh. Jinx, Ari, dual carries are going to get it done. And ooh, we narrowly win that one. Look what Headwinder types. 1 round off the send. I was like, oh my God, they're going to have, you can see my past self reacting there. They're going to have a Yumi 3 on the next round, and we would have 100% lost from there. Ooh, okay. Yeah, and in the other side of the matchup, Willow actually lost to Headwinder, so it's not like, if I had lost that round, I'm pretty sure we lose the game. But what a fun match this was. Really, really entertaining Friday morning game. Thanks to everybody for joining me this one. We've had some great games on the Friday morning, so if you're watching this and you're able to come join us, come on and hop on. We need an 8th player for these games. It would be fun to have you. Anyway, until then, once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys are having a great week. Until then, take care, and I'll see you again soon.